It took more than 5 months, but Senate negotiators finally came to agreement on the bill that had blocked Loretta Lynch's path to confirmation as President Obama's second attorney general. The hitch appeared in an entirely unrelated fight over access to abortion for victims of human trafficking.
Mr. President,
the majority leader.
Word of the deal came first thing this morning on the Senate floor from Republican Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
I'm glad we can now say there is a bipartisan proposal that will allow us to complete action on this important legislation so we can provide help to the victims who desperately need it.
The agreement also means the Senate will likely vote, McConnell said, in the next day or so on Attorney General nominee Loretta Lynch. That was welcome news to Minority Leader Harry Reid.
So let's get rid of this quickly. Let's get Loretta Lynch confirmed quickly and move on to the other matters.
The human trafficking bill and the nomination had been blocked for months. Initially, there was bipartisan backing for the bill that sets up a fund for victims of trafficking. But an impasse developed when Democrats objected to language that would expand prohibitions on abortion funding. Republicans, in turn, insisted they would not take up the Lynch nomination until the human trafficking bill passed. Today's deal tweaks the abortion language in a way that both sides say they can accept. It also comes several days after President Obama blasted the delay of the Lynch nomination.
There are times where the dysfunction in the Senate just goes too far. This is an example of it. It's gone too far. Enough. Enough. Call Loretta Lynch for a vote. Get her confirmed. Put her in place. Let her do her job. This is embarrassing.
The president nominated Lynch last November to replace Eric Holder. If confirmed, the career prosecutor from New York would become the first black woman to hold the office. The White House today called news of the Senate deal an encouraging sign. So what really broke the logjam? For that, I spoke a short time ago to two members of the Senate. We start with Mississippi Republican Roger Wicker. Senator Wicker, welcome. There seem to be two arguments going on here in the Senate recently that you've reached an agreement about today, but one was about human trafficking bill, one was about Loretta Lynch. What was the connection?
Well, the connection is actually we needed to break the logjam on the trafficking bill, a very important piece of legislation to protect vulnerable young Americans and also people who would be trafficked into the United States. Senator McConnell had made it clear that the schedule would be the trafficking bill, then the Lynch nomination. And I think it was important for him to stand firm on that. And as it turns out, it broke the logjam. Both matters will now be considered and we'll be able to move on, I think, in a bipartisan fashion.
As you know, Democrats think that Republicans are basically holding the Attorney General's nomination hostage for an abortion-related amendment included in this human trafficking bill. What's your response to that?
Well, my response is that the Hyde language has been part of legislation for over 3 decades, and really this sort of came as a surprise that this would be thought of as an issue holding up a trafficking bill. As it turns out, here's the upshot. The Hyde language was neither expanded nor diminished in this negotiation process. It is exactly as it has been over the decades. We've broken the logjam on the trafficking bill now, and by the end of the week, I think we'll have a new Attorney General confirmed, and that issue will not be there to divide Americans anymore. So I think it's a good result, and frankly, if Ms. Lynch has been instrumental in breaking a logjam on a very important trafficking bill, I have to feel like she would feel that it might actually have been worth the delay.
Does that mean that you would vote to confirm her?
I've made it clear. I think she should be brought to the floor. I think she will be confirmed, and I've made it clear all along that I'll be a no vote. But there are going to be plenty of votes for her confirmation, and there won't be much of a dust-up over there because of her support of some of the president's executive overreaches, I'll be a no vote. But she'll be confirmed, and at the end of the day, the president will have a new attorney general.
We saw the Medicare doctors fix. We've seen a trade agreement reached so far, at least still has to work its way through the Congress. And now this. Is this a new day post-gridlock in the United States Senate?
I think so, and also there's an education bill that has come out of the HELP committee with strong support, not only from Chairman Alexander, but also the ranking member, Senator Murray. I actually think that our new majority leader, Senator McConnell, by being firm, but also by opening up the amendment process, has created an atmosphere where we're going to see a lot more bipartisanship and a lot more legislation moving. And frankly, you know, as someone who's in charge of the campaign committee, I think legislative accomplishment and ending gridlock, I think that is good politics for both parties. And I think the American people are going to find it a bit refreshing.
Was it worth it to keep the nominee waiting this long?
Well, I'm sorry that it was held up so long. I'm sorry that a trafficking bill that should have been passed, frankly, by unanimous consent or virtual unanimous vote was held up for some 4 weeks. But this is the sort of thing that sometimes happens in legislative bodies. The good news is that we have, I think, a very positive result. We'll have a very strong trafficking bill to move on to the House and to the President's desk, and the President will have his nominee with not an inordinate amount of delay, considering we're trying to break a logjam, and I think now we've reached a point where we're going to see a lot of bipartisan accomplishments.
Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me again.